tell you something strange about history. The more powerful a woman becomes, the more her story gets rewritten. Sometimes she's turned into a romantic heroine, sometimes into a villain, and sometimes both at the same time. That's exactly what happened to Kösem Sultan. Because if you've watched Magnificent Century, Kösem, you've seen a version of her that is emotional, passionate, often reacting to danger around her. But the real Kösem, she wasn't reacting to chaos. She was controlling the environment that created it. Even her very beginning is softer in the show. We are introduced to Anastasia, a girl with a name, a personality, a voice we immediately understand. But history doesn't give us that comfort. We don't actually know her real name. And that's important, because it reminds us that she didn't enter the Ottoman palace as a character. She entered it as part of a system. The Ottoman harem wasn't random, it wasn't chaotic, it was structured, disciplined, almost like an institution. Girls were trained, educated, observed, and the ones who survived were not the loudest. They were the most adaptable, and that's where the show subtly misleads you. It gives Kösem a modern strength, speaking out, resisting, challenging authority. But in reality, that kind of behavior would have been dangerous. Power in the harem didn't come from rebellion. It came from understanding when to be silent. And this difference becomes even more obvious when you look at how the show visually presents power. Now let's talk about the costumes. The show is famous for them. Those flowing gowns, fitted silhouettes, dramatic necklines, glittering crowns. And they are beautiful. But historically, they are almost entirely inaccurate. In the series, women wear tight, body-shaped dresses, often with visible cleavage, styled hair flowing freely, sometimes even uncovered in mixed spaces. But in the real Ottoman court, clothing worked very differently. Women wore layered garments, loose shalvar trousers, a long inner chemise called gömlek, and an outer robe like an entari or kaftan. These were loose, modest, and designed to conceal the body, not highlight it. In fact, many historians point out that the dresses shown in the series resemble European fashion far more than Ottoman clothing. Tight cuts, exposed shoulders, structured bodices, things that simply didn't belong in that setting. And those iconic crowns? Also misleading. Ottoman royal women didn't sit around wearing giant tiaras all day. Headwear existed, yes, but it was more subtle, often integrated into veils or wrapped styles. And even the fabrics. The show uses bright synthetic-looking colours, heavy shine, intricate embroidery that looks almost machine-made. But historically, dyes were natural. Colours were more limited, and clothing, even for royalty, was often looser, less structured, and surprisingly, practical. The inaccuracies don't stop at clothing. They extend into how relationships and conflicts are portrayed. Take the rivalry between Kösem and Safiye Sultan. In the show, Safiye is everywhere, manipulating, plotting, constantly clashing with Kösem over a long period. But historically, that timeline doesn't really work. By the time Kösem was rising in influence, Safiye Sultan had already been removed from the center of power. She wasn't this ever-present enemy. She was, in many ways, already part of the past. So this long-standing rivalry, it's less history and more storytelling convenience. And then comes one of the most dramatic, but completely fictional characters in the series, Farya Sultan, a European princess, a free woman. someone who enters the Ottoman world and becomes romantically involved with Murad IV. It sounds dramatic, it sounds exciting. It also completely breaks the logic of the Ottoman system, because Ottoman sultans did not marry foreign princesses. They didn't marry free women at all. And that wasn't a coincidence. It was policy. Marriage meant alliances, alliances meant influence, and influence meant potential threats to the throne. So instead, the system relied on concubines. And the same pattern continues with how the show handles death and danger. In the series, Murad is constantly surrounded by conspiracies, poisoning attempts, secret enemies, hidden plots. It creates tension, but it also distorts reality, because historically, Murad IV didn't die from poisoning. He died young, yes, but due to the effects of excessive alcohol consumption, most likely liver cirrhosis, and this changes everything. Because instead of a ruler constantly being hunted by enemies, you see a ruler shaped by internal pressure, by trauma, by the weight of power placed on him at a very young age. In the show, it often feels like Kösem is responding, protecting her children, reacting to crises, trying to survive wave after wave of danger. But in reality, she was doing something much quieter and much more powerful. She was building networks, maintaining alliances with court officials, arranging strategic marriages, balancing factions within the palace, influencing decisions without always appearing to control them. Her power wasn't loud, it was consistent. And that's something the show simplifies again and again. It turns long, slow political maneuvering into fast-paced emotional drama. It compresses timelines. Events that took years, even decades, are made to feel like they happened within days. Because patience doesn't always translate well on screen, but in real life, that's exactly what sustained her power. So when you watch Magnificent Century Kösem, what you're seeing is not exactly history. It's an interpretation, a version shaped to be more emotional, more visual, more immediate. But the real story, it's quieter, more calculated, less dramatic on the surface, but far more intense underneath. And maybe that's what makes Kösem Sultan so fascinating. Not just what she did, but how she did it. Without spectacle, without grand speeches, without those glittering crowns the show loves so much. Just patience, strategy, and the ability to survive in a world where survival was never guaranteed.